אוקיי, היי! מה המצב? עבר באמת הרבה זמן מאז שעשיתי אייס אטרני. באופן כללי אפילו אייס אטרני. אני אפילו לא מדבר על Spirit of Justice. אבל היי. obviously אני עושה הכל עם טסטינג. אומייגאד, אתה יודע בסדר ככה. there we go. כרגיל אני עושה את הטסטינג עם האודיו פה. obviously זה לא השתנה. אז כן, אני הולך להשתיק את עצמי לרגע ולברר איך האודיו נשמע. אז כן, שנייה אחת. אוקיי, הכל נראה טוב, פרפקט. בוא ניגש לזה עכשיו. הרבה זמן אני לא שיחקתי בהפועל ג'סטיס טרילוגי, שזה מרגיש מוזר. אבל היי, הגיע הזמן באמת שאני אחזור להפועל ג'סטיס טרילוגי. קדימה! בוי! כמה שנים! לזה מרגיש לפחות. פעם קודמת! היה את ה-right of turnabout, ובייסיקלי פגשת את מאיה! ונהיה guilty למורדר! again! טוב זהו. נצא לדרך. The right of turnabout. trial. אוי, שכחתי! אני אהיה חייב גם לעשות voice acting! הפעם האחרונה שעשיתי voice acting זה היה דלתרון. כי אני לא עושה, באופן מטורף, אני דווקא לא עושה voice acting בפאל וורלד, שזה בהחלט היה choice שעשיתי. אבל כן. אז כן, בוא ניגש ל-11 למאי, 9:40 בבוקר. A High Court of Crime accused the lobby. Was unable to find any conclusive evidence yesterday. אוקיי, תודה רבה שאפשר לעשות חזרה לזה. Lee, Kira's warning. Warbud, the arrow, wanted poster, envelope, not range poster. Plum to punish us, scrap, rights guide, newspaper, Tarast, autopsy, Latin letters, sanctum prayer flags, inner sanctum photo, the ritual curtain. Oh! למה אמה פה? אוקיי. ולא, אמה ומאיה. מאיה 28 ואמה 27, אוקיי. Makes sense. Trust in me. יהודה סדמדי, למה אתה פה? איפה פדמה קריין? פארי זלות? מי שלא ידוע. ו-believe in me. אוקיי. אוקיי. נראה לי יש את כל הסרט מוכן, אז כן, let's go. But if I can figure out Lady Kira's motive for felling the High Priest, then maybe... Nick, today well... Don't look so down, Maya. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. Oh! Rafa! You would do well to cease this insanity while you still can. As I said yesterday, I'm going to defend my client in court. Well, notice. You shall not witness a miracle of the sort that occurred last time. The moment she's found guilty, you, too, will be found guilty of abetting the accused. I never claimed to be a miracle maker, but I am good at discovering the truth. And unlike miracles, the truth is always waiting to be found. The truth, you say? Does it seem to have chosen your fate? This shall be your very last trial. Nick? I'm going to prove you're innocent, Maya. You'll see. After all, you have to introduce the Pumped Punisher, warrior of Neo-Twilight Realm, to the folks back home, right? Right! Maybe I defended this time. But I'll be by your side like always, Dick. Thanks, Maya. This place is tough on lawyers. I'll need all the help I can get. Us? It's always good to have you on the team. Well, it's time. Let's go. אם זה עכשיו יש עכשיו את הקלאסיק פיניקס ומאיה דיינמיק בזמן שנראה בקורט השני, בקורט הרגיל, יש בעצם יותר את אפולו ואפינה, שזה נייס. הייתי רוצה גם קצת יותר טרוסי, אבל מה אפשר לעשות? 11 למאי, high court and crime. Let's go! Day 1. Okay, the Utah, huh? Interesting. Let the trial by a fate begin. The defense is ready, Your Majesty. אפילו לא זוכר מה אני עשיתי בשבילו פעם קודמת. Huh? Okay, wow. Quiet. Can't you see Prosecutor Sadmali is absorbed in silent prayer? Great. Trial's barely started and the judge is already mad at me. He's very devoted for a prosecutor. Why is the accused standing over there? Oh, well... Your Majesty. In addition to being the accused, she is also my assistant. The accused is your assistant, you say? Very well, then. A criminal does indeed make a fitting partner to a lawyer with a deified soul. That wasn't very nice. תדרגלי לזה פשוט. Yeah, well, bad-mouth and lawyer seems to be a custom of sorts in crime. I must say, I'm surprised to see you still here in crime, Mr. Wright. Even more so to find you in the Hall of Justice once more. I cannot fathom why you would willingly risk your life in yet another trial. The answer is simple, Your Majesty. I am a lawyer, and this is what lawyers do. Although, to be frank, I would rather be anywhere but here right now. Okay, נראה לי עכשיו נזכרתי בנוגע לדברים. Such foolishness. Ah, Prosecutor Salmani! Are you ready to begin now? Yes, Your Majesty. The prosecution is ready. Let's begin without further delay. But first, I promise you both this. I will cast your wicked souls into the fires of hell. Thus shall the soul of the victim attain salvation. Splendid! I would expect nothing less of you, prosecute somebody. Please save the victim's soul, prosecute somebody. Właśnie łykę, to jest co masz za mną. Okay, last ride, that's good selecting. I think I'll pass on that whole fire and brimstone deal. But I'm not surprised by your words or stance, considering what Apollo's told me about you. So, it was you who instilled that putrid lawyery guile within him. Putrid? What? He too must soon face the fires, lest his soul be lost to redemption. But I shall send you on ahead, so that he will not be lonely when he arrives. Sorry, but I'm afraid it won't be that easy. People say I never know when to give up. Nervous smile? A little. Feels like it's been ages since we stood side by side like this in court. Zenoya is Esser Shana canonically? Zeno canonically היה איזה 10 שנים או משהו? כי מתי זה היה פעם אחרונה? בת 18 או 19 בתשעה הזאת של ביוליישנס? עד עכשיו! Scared. Too bad I'm the defendant. Don't worry. Haven't lost the case together yet. Alright. Let's give this everything we've got, Nick. Lord and prosecutor somebody, would you please explain the case at hand? Of course, Your Majesty. Let us begin with the last rites of the victim. Okay. Lawyer Faye has been charged with the crime of murder. The victim of a heinous crime was High Priest Rust Inby. He was conducting the purification rite when he was brutally slain. And the cause of death? Let us review the victim's autopsy report and the crime scene follow, shall we? Blood from the abdominal wound by a bladed weapon. They appear to have been inflicted by Warba's dagger used in the riot. So, the mark on his face is one borne by all members of Quran clergy somewhere on their body. Records of who has what work when kept are at temple. The cause of death was blood loss from a stab wound delivered to the abdomen. The metal weapon was likely the Warba dagger, which was used in the riot. However, the weapon has yet to be found, though the scene was thoroughly searched. The sacred relic uses the tool of murder. The Holy Mother's wrath shall be most severe. The murder itself took place at the height of the purification rite. The accused had donned Lady Kira's sacred robes, and the victim was there to offer prayers as a high priest of Corainism. During the rite, the victim and the accused were the only two at the inner sanctum. Therefore, the only person who could have slain the victim is Maya Fey. אז לפי process of elimination, לפי basic alibis, זה לא בדיוק אשכרה ידוע מי עשה את זה. אוקיי. I must say, that does cast a great deal of suspicion upon the accused. Indeed. Now then, allow me to submit this diagram of the crime scene as evidence in this case. Okay, perfect. In Corainism, slaying a priest is a sin most grave and dreadful. As such, Maya Fey's soul shall be plunged to the lowest level of hell. The hell of tickling. What? There she shall be tickled without end for 500 million years. Should... רגע, דגדוגים? What? That is a terrible fate indeed. What did the feds care to respond? Here I thought the lowest level of hell was the hell of back pain. I don't remember killing anyone, and I don't have the dagger or anything like it. As my client stated, she has no memory of the events as described by the prosecution. But, more importantly, she had no motive to kill the high priest in the first place.
Objection!
Whoa! Okay. I thought you might say that. Nevertheless... The meaningless prattle of lawyers is utterly ineffectual here in the Hall of Justice. For all will be made clear by her benevolence, Rafa Pema Coraine's insights. Oh boy, here we go again. So it is, and so it shall be. The divination seance reveals the truth for all to see. Here we go again. Bailiff, please show in the royal priestess. Hey, Rafa. It's Princess Rafa. Oh, pure for her benevolence. Looks like it today. Or to the whole mother of the for this day. As popular as ever, I see. Rest assured, good people of Karain, I will defeat this murderer and her abettor. They shall not escape on their Freedom Express today. Our joy is to have the royal priestess back in the Hall of Justice. May the Holy Mother grant us her divine favor. Urdihara Karain.
Urdihara Karain. Urdihara Karain.
She sure looks pleased with herself. Especially for someone who didn't know what a Freedom Express was until yesterday. Is there something stuck to my face, barbed head? No, nothing, Your Benevolence. Now then, Your Benevolence, the divination seance, if you please. Very well. Nina, my robe. Okay. לא זוכר אם זה היה פעם קודמת, what? לא זוכר אם זה היה פעם קודמת בקייס אחד. Okay, let's go.
O Holy Mother, we hold this divination seance in your name. Let the eyes of everyone here be clear, and our ears be unstopped. O dance of devotion, guide the victim's soul to me, so that we may receive their final memories in the pool of souls.
Let's go. וכן, יש פסודו voice acting במשחק הזה. קצת מעצבן אותי שאין את זה in the entire game, לפחות רק ל-Spirit of Justice. אבל, whatever. בוא ניתן להם שיש את האנימה cutscenes בדואל דסטיניס. whatever. let's go. אני לא יודע אם אפשר לעשות איזה סקיפ, אבל אני לא רוצה לעשות סקיפ לזה. כי... היי, זה relevant, אז... deal with it. אומייגאד, עכשיו זה מזכיר אותי איך בקייס אחד השיר היה רלוונטי בנוגע ל-Sacred Treasure. גם אפילו שהמוזיקה היא כנראה ביפנית, או משהו דומה לזה. בקלות אפשר לשמוע בעצם מי טעמה, או שפשוט החליטו לא לתרגם את המי טעמה כי זה רלוונטי. whatever, let's go. Oh, what? Oh no. Wind. Oh! Incense footsteps. Hey. Huh? Hold on, what? The victors of Mitama has spoken. The divination seance is complete. Wait, another clearly incriminating seance vision. היית אומר לא בהכרח כי יש literally section שלם שאי אפשר לראות בכלל את מאיה? ולמה מהצד של הפריי זה הופך לרוב? What? איפה מאיה? It could not be any clearer of foul defense. The accused donned the sacred robes of the Akira and then attacked the victim. No! Maya literally התפללה, what are you talking about? Oh, how terrible it must have been. רגע, יש משהו ב-evidence שאומר את זה? Body show allow the area and a lantern with broken wind. God. I was curtain around the perimeter of saying that myself from outside. Oh! Interesting. הנה משהו שאני יכול להגיד כבר ישר obvious. איך בעצם היה יכול להיות רוח? איך היה יכול להיות הרגשה של רוח? אם בעצם isolating from the outside world אמור להיות רק את האינסנס, למה יש רוח? זה לא נכון. רוב הסיכויים. לא, זה מראה שזה היה אדום, זה לא אומר שזה היה אדם שמה. מתקשר בעצם ל-arrow. resembles a three-pronged arrow. Kira discovered near the high priest's home. Describing escape is an emergency accessible reward. Not just the high priest, there is no return address, and friend you should look. Wow. Poster in the high priest's house showing the intersection of pop me. כן. לא רק שזה היה יותר מדי חשוך, לא היה אפשר לראות את הקרטנס. נראה לי בחלק לא היה אפשר לראות את הלנטרנס. The figure of Lady Kira lit against the dim lantern light. The scent of incense growing ever more potent as it drew near. I could almost sense the horrible abbot in me must have felt. The horror abbot in me must have felt. The facts as presented by her benevolence are indisputable. But that wasn't me! Do something, Nick! I'm working on it! That couldn't have been any clearer. Looks like I'm in for another uphill battle. The accused committed this vile act during our ancient tradition, the purification rite. To think of it, the Rites Guide explains the multi-part purification rite in detail. A Rites Guide? Staging a full moon. Purification rite is a three-part ceremony held on the moon directly over the summit of Mount Papani. Begins with the transformation rite. The high priest reads the scripture while priestess downs the robe of Lady Kira, which have been purified with incense. Next is the rite of water, which the priest enters the spring just as Lady Kira, and the high priest purifies both Lady Kira and her dagger. Somebody enters the rite of fire, which is the priestess circle who seek a flame to purify her soul. The two then devote themselves to prayer until the rite comes to close 2 days later at noontime. So basically the whole thing's fancy way of Lady Kira to take a bath once a year must have been nice for her. The transformation rite. The high priest reads the scripture while priestess dons the robes of Lady Kira. The rite of water. Lady Kira enters the spring and the high priest purifies her along with her dagger by the fire. So I guess the sacred flame with her soul. Light behind flames! Indeed. It would seem that the murder occurred during the transformation rite. The rite dictates that the high priest stand in front of the spring. Therefore, the accused must have attacked him from the direction of the broken lantern. Well, Barbed Head, would you care to object? Of course, because I know my client is innocent. So you say. You truly did not know when you were beaten, do you? Managed to pull off last time with LB. I'll just have to do it again. Who intend to find fault with her benevolence's insights yet again? You'd see, but lawyers are creatures indeed. Look at that Polkunkin. Wow. What exactly is a Polkunkin? Someone who's a real piece of work, so to speak. They can call me anything they want. The only thing I care about is uncovering the truth. So, Barbed Head, are you foolish enough to risk your life for your so-called truth? Because my insights are the truth. To deny them is to willingly dig your own grave. Let's go. The victim commenced the purification rite by bowing to the lanterns and reading the Satara. As the first part, the transformation rite, ended. He lowered the satchel. Suddenly, he heard the accused's approaching footsteps and smelled her incense-laden robes. It was then that the victim felt an immense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, his vision dimmed, till finally he passed from our world. That is everything the victim experienced in his final moments. Dressed in the sacred robes of Lady Kira, the accused rushed the victim head-on. The brutal stabbing she perpetuated could not have been any clearer. Yes, it is plain for all to see. No, it wasn't me! A sudden drowsiness came over me during the transformation. Oh my god, again? I didn't even get a chance to put on Lady Kira's robes. You waste our time with such meaningless statements, accused. You cannot explain away the truths revealed by the royal priestess's divine insight. How did you end up finding contradictions last time? לתאם דברים. The deceased's final memories include all 5 senses. Oh, you mean those words that appear in the Pool of Souls? Looks to me that, like, the bigger the word, the stronger the sensation was to the victim. Yeah, that's how it looked to me, too. The sensations themselves are never wrong, only their interpretations. That's why I tried to point out mistakes in Rafa's insight last time. So, there could be contradictions between what Abbott in me felt and her insights. Huh? What? Abbott? The Tarast, not Abbott. What? You got it. And I'm going to find them this time, too. Should I check how to point out contradictions in Rafa's insight? אני זוכר, פשוט אתם statements עם sense שלא מתאים. I remember how it works. Still, the sensations this time seem to fluctuate more than the ones from Albie's trial. In which case, I better keep an eye on the changes in their intensity too. Okay, time to put out the sensations that contradict the insights. כן, נראה שהפעם הסנסיישן הגודל יהיה רלוונטי. Victim verification, bowing the lanterns this out. זה מוזר! First of all, the transformation. He lowered the saddle. Suddenly, he heard the accused's footsteps and smelled her instant. And wrote, that was the victim that felt immense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. As his life's blood spilled over, the vision dimmed. That's when it finally passed. It kills a lower intensity! 100% יש את הבייס קונטרדיקשן כאן ש... in general זה היה שבור. זה היה בעצם שבור. אבל אולי זה משהו שקורה אחר כך. מעבר לזה... Approaching footsteps were smelled laden robes. הפוטסטפס מתישהו נגמר בזמן שהאינסנס יותר מתקרב. והפיין זה בדיוק מתי שהיה את הסטאב, אוקיי, אז זה לא קונטרדיקשן. פה זה מרגיש קונטרדיקשן. או! רגע, מה זה נחשב? סאונד. אוקיי, אז זה סאונד, לא פיל. He heard footsteps smelled incense. רק בשביל דגש כללי, גם אפילו שזה לא בהכרח contradiction. למה הפוטסטפס הוא יותר חזק מאשר מהאינסנס? לא פה. עכשיו אני יכול לעשות איזה סלקט. סאונד. אולי זה הפרפקט אופורטוניטי, לראות? כן, הפוטסטפס היה יותר חזק מאשר מהאינסנס. Suddenly, heard accused approaching footsteps and smelled her instantly robes. כן. הנה שאלה. למה הפוטסטפס מופיע לפני האינסנס? למה הפוטסטפס הוא לפני האינסנס? נעשה רגע ריוויינד. הבגדים אמורים להיות כבר עם אינסנס. אבל הפוטסטפס בא קודם. ואחר כך בא אינסנס. האינסנס בא אחרי הפוטסטפס, אבל ריאליסטית זה כבר אמור להיות הריח קודם. זה pain. As the spell of his vision dimmed till finally it passed from our world. Sight. זה חייב להיות זה.
Objection!
כן, יופי. יופי, יופי. יופי, תודה רבה. אז כן, ידעתי. הפוטסטפס מופיע לפני האינסנס, אבל האינסנס בא אחרי הפוטסטפס. זה לא הגיוני. The victim supposedly heard the accused's approaching footsteps. But did he really? What nonsense is this? Is it not abundantly clear? No, it's not. Because there is something strange about those footsteps. Strange? Explain yourself, Barbed Head. The footsteps are strange because... Oh! They don't get louder, the timing doesn't make sense. הטיימינג? אני אומר הטיימינג כי האינסנס היה אמור להופיע קודם. The timing doesn't make any sense. There shouldn't be any footsteps. There should not be footsteps as the accused was approaching the victim. Really? Then do you suggest that the accused was actually floating through the air? Well, I mean... I suggest you hold your tongue. Suggestion noted. That's not it, then. Oh. But there's definitely something strange about those footsteps. They're strange because... they're not getting any louder. And why exactly does that matter? Please focus your attention on the incense the victim smelled. Oh my god! As a kid, I have footsteps! רק פשוט הגודל שלהם היה קבוע. Oh my god. The scent grows stronger as the accused approaches. If the accused really had approached the victim, the sound of her footsteps would have grown louder as the scent of incense grew stronger. Perfect! זה הדבר הראשון שעלה לי בעצם בסיאנס. הדבר הראשון שדווקא עלה לי בסיאנס, מתי שראיתי את זה בהתחלה. זה שזה לא נראה שמאיה, הליידי קירה, זז. לפי האנימציה אני ניחשתי את זה, אני לא כזה שמתי לב בנוגע לגודל של הסייט והאינסטנס וכל זה, אבל לפי הראייה לי זה היה נראה שהווקטור מתקרב יותר מאשר מה-accused, מאשר מלידי קירה. זה הרגיש שהוא התקרב ולא היא התקרבה. אז כן, זה בהחלט בהחלט יצא משהו שהייתי חייב לחשוב עליו לרגע וחצי. Why? That makes perfect sense. How can this be explained, your benevolence? Well, there must be a reason. למה הוא התקרב? It is as they say. Even the putrid worm of a lawyer will turn. What does that even mean? He's not exactly singing your praises, that's for sure. Still, we cannot discount this information solely on the account of its lawyery source. Your benevolence. Perhaps you must listen more carefully to the Abbot's mitama. What? Listen more carefully? What's he talking about? Yes, it would appear so. I shall try to refine the sensation. What? Refine the sensation? I can more accurately gauge sensations by deepening my communication with a mitama. I didn't know you could do that. Why have we never done this before? By refining a sensation, a clearer picture of the truth can be discovered. Oh, blessed mitama, I beseech you, hear me now and respond to my call. Asuka, yes, insight changes? Oh! Footsteps changed to bells. What could this mean? What? Bells? But the only bells at the scene of the crime were... Ah! That jiggling must have come from Abbot Inme's bells. You mean those big things he had on his ankles? Well, there you have it. The sound of bells was from the High Priest's own footsteps. Then that means... she's a Kanaya victim! If the footsteps belonged to the victim himself, it means it was the victim who was moving, not the accused. Huitkarev! The victim was the one who went running toward the broken lantern from the spring. A far cry from what her benevolence's insight would have us believe. Perfecta! But why would the victim have approached the accused? Maybe he was trying to defend himself. Please explain. He could have felt threatened by Lady Kira standing there with a dagger. If so, he might have thought to overpower her before she attacked. If still your voices, this is nothing but a theory, and a poor one at that. Be not led astray by the lawyer's obvious protrusion. Postulation, slicha.
Objection!
Well, his insolence is inexcusable. I would ask that you calm yourself, your benevolence. Is there something you would care to say, Prosecutor Sadmali? Even if it was Abbot Inmi who moved, it does not negate the accused's crime. כן, זה לא משנה שהוויקטים עדיין התקרב לדאגר דקר את עצמו, דקר את עצמו. הוא ליטרלי התקרב לשם ודקר את עצמו. אבל... למה קוראים לו אבוט? למה אומרים אבוד? זה משהו שאולי אני לא שכחתי מקודם, אבל למה קוראים לו אבוט? השם שלו זה טורס. What do you mean? The accused was likely waiting for the high priest to approach. Ah! And as he neared, she plunged the dagger into him. It is as simple as that. Oh, right. It really doesn't change much, does it? Yes, it is as the prosecutor has said. In fact, it is as I meant to say all along. Oh my god. Right. And that's why you were so shocked when you first heard it. Understand now, lawyer. That contradiction you conjured up has come to naught. Once I hold my insights, it will vanish like the dying rays of the sun. That's it again! Again! He rushed the accused and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. What? See? The fact that it was Abbot Inmi who moved changes nothing. Come on, Phoenix, you gotta keep your cool. The contradiction I'm pointing out must mean something. Well, one sensation changed after Princess Rayfa refined her vision. It stands to reason that something else might have changed too because of the refinement. I should focus on any sensations that have changed, while searching for more contradictions between them and her insights. Meister! Okay. עכשיו הסמל והבלז. רגע, what? Water! Hold it! Hold it. לא פה. Water! In rush, Jake and tried to fight her off by the broken lantern. But if there's then with fabric. Over especially dim and finally passed away. What is this? Sound. Far by the broken lantern. Then the victim felt immense pain. I believe this is when he was stabbed. Rushtek is in charge to fight off by the broken lantern. זה contradiction! Again! אבל הפעם זה בגלל שהמים עושה override להכל! ועושה override לבלס!
Objection!
Hold it! How do we know the purification rite was performed exactly as it was supposed to be? That's easy. The customs governing the rite are very clear, and Abbot in me would have adhered to them. Well, that's strange. Mr. Wright, will your character explain just what is so strange? Yes, I would ask you to consider the sound of the victim's footsteps. הם נפלאים על ידי המים. The sound of bells changes to the sound of water at one point. What's this? It's simple. The victim must have stepped in some water. Oh. Yes. And the one source of water in the inner sanctum is the spring. And therein lies the contradiction. What contradiction? I believe the rite started out as it should have. The victim stood with his back to the spring, and the accused stood right in front of him. But we now know that the victim had then moved into the spring.
That is absurd!
This means that the accused's location differs from what her benevolence's insight indicates. Then, how do you propose the accused stood when she donned Lady Kira's robes? Based on the sound of the victim's footsteps, I believe Maya was standing here. איפשהו באמצע, כי היה צריך קצת בלס להתקרב למים. כמה שזה יצא פה, by the broken lantern, הגיוני שהיא תהיה קרוב יותר. איפשהו באמצע. אבל עדיין אפשר לראות את שתי הלנטרנס.
Take that!
אוקיי, לא. וואו, אוקיי. כאן? רגע, הוא התקרב! היא הייתה בספרינג!
Take that!
Until this moment, we've all just assumed that Albert, Amy, and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be. Oh my god. Wat een broken lantern uit juni. Kim hooit karev. Im hooit karev lamayim. אז כדי שאפשר לראות את שני הלנטרנס האלה, ולא את הברוקן לנטרן שאני חשבתי קודם. But Amy and Miss Faye were standing where they were supposed to be, as shown in this rights guide. In short, the victim should have been standing with his back to the spring, and the accused in front. However, if that is how they were really standing, it could have stepped into the spring as he approached her. The problem is, the victim did step into the spring. This can only mean that Miss Faye had actually been standing in the water.
If this is true, then the positions will have been completely reversed. What is going on here, Miss Faye? Are you really standing in the spring?
I'm sorry, but I barely remember anything about the riot. This would never make such an obvious bloodline job.
On Earth?
Not even possible.
That's enough!
Whoa! Be that as it may, this does not overturn my insights. It doesn't? Well, I say the accused was standing in the spring. So what? So what? This completely reverses their positions is what? That their position different from what is customary is rather curious. However, what does that change? It clearly does not erase the accused's brutal crime. Can't I'm trying to ask a point. I guess you have a point there. You lawyers are an absurd breed. Never thinking ahead, you cling to the first insignificant contradiction you can muster. Sounds like Princess Rafa has a pretty good grasp on what lawyers are all about. Oh my, where would I be without your brilliant frank commentary right now? Is this contradiction really meaningless? Something really doesn't feel right. Did I take a wrong turn somewhere? I will now open my insight to account for this new truth. Project isn't trying to fire off by their poolside lantern. Now the contradiction is no more. But the truth of the matter still stands, no matter how stubbornly you deny it.
What do you have to say for yourself now, Mr. Wright?
Nick! Your Majesty, this lawyer may have revised their trivial objection. May have raised their trivial objection. But her benevolence's insights have no further inadequacies of any kind.
Yes, so it would seem.
Wait a second! But there is another contradiction! What? Still you flounder about, wretched beast. Though you rack that putrid brain of yours, nothing worthwhile will come of it. Maya, please tell me you remember something that might help us out here. Sorry, I really don't remember a thing.
Now that the place I was standing in has changed, who knows? That alone may cause a new discrepancy with Princess Wafer's insights. That's right. We now know that Maya was standing in the spring. A major change like that could very well produce a contradiction. I should take another look at the inner sanctum diagram in the court record and confirm where Maya and Abbot Inmate were standing. I then focus on on finding any discrepancies between their position and the insights. Another look at the confirmed locations. אז זה המיין contradiction שצריך להסתכל עליו. Should I get the obvious? Should I get the obvious? כן, מסתכל עוד פעם על מאיה אחרי הלנטרנס. זה עדיין ריק. אפשר שנראה את הסקשן הזה לרגע. Oh, finally passed from our world. That makes sense. כן, עדיין בעיניי יש את ה-obvious contradiction. אנחנו אומרים שמאיה נמצאת בעצם בפוזישן אחר עכשיו. שהפוזישן עושה את זה obvious שאמור לראות את הפסל. אבל אנחנו לא רואים את הפסל. איפה היה הפסל? איפה היה הפסל? אני די בטוח שהיה אפשר לראות את הפסל, אז where the fuck is the פסל? אני לא מטיסה אותו. By the spring side lantern. Then I look this one. Stab. Most build this vision damned and now finally bounced from the apartment. למה שזה ידבר לנו על הלוקיישן שלהם again, אם זה לא מדבר על הפסל? אבל אם זה כן מדבר על הפסל... I appreciate scripture about please just don't serve for the Kira, which has been perfect. זה לא נותן אינפורמיישן! זה אפילו לא אומר שזה חייב להיות שמה. זה חייב להיות בצורה הזאתי. כאילו בעיניי, אם מדברים אקסקלוסיבית על לוקיישן. אם ה-name of the game זה לוקיישן. אם המשחק הראשי כאן זה לוקיישן, אז הפסל נעלם. The rich accused and tried to fire her off by the spring side lantern. Oh my god. Sorry. Fire her off by the spring side lantern. I never figured found it, but it's stabbed. The full spring side lantern. A contradiction cut the statue. Where the fuck is the statue? For pestle. Effective elements. Stand the victim for the events, this is when he was here. Spilled over his vision dimmed till finally he passed from our world. Will I like get your contradictions aside? אולי פשוט להגיד שה-contradiction זה סייט. גם אפילו שאנחנו יודעים שאנחנו מתקרבים למים. זה לא משנה את זה שאנחנו לא רואים בכלל את הפסל.
Objection!
לא. אם מדברים purely על location, אם מדברים purely על location, behind the lanterns. זה אפשר להגיד שזה contradiction? רוב הסיכויים לא, כי זה היה כבר אומר שהייתי חייב לעשות לזה contradiction.
Objection!
כן, לא, I know it. הרי no way שזה אותו statement. You know what the satua. Suddenly. אפילו לא מדבר על הווינד. נלגרם מתעלם מזה שיש פה ווינד, אבל זה contradiction של סאונד. אבל לא touch. אני לא יודע, מה נחשב pain? זה נחשב ל-touch. הווטר לגמרי עצר שזה הגיוני. אז האינסנס נעלם. האינסנס נעלם אבל הפיין נשאר. איך? ואחר כך הפיין נגמר. אוקיי. אם מדברים על זה מה שמבלבל אותי. למה להזכיר את הלוקיישן שלהם? למה לדבר על הלוקיישן שלהם? אם אנחנו אומרים שמאיה נמצאת כאן, אז זה פשוט basic contradiction, כי אי אפשר לראות את הפסל. זה basic contradiction, כי אי אפשר לראות את הפסל, ואם אין את הפסל, אז אולי זה אומר משהו. זה למה ישר ניגשתי לקונטרדיקשן של ה-broken lantern. אבל עכשיו בגלל הפסיישן ככה זה פסל. חייב להיות משהו שאני מפספס. היה קצת באוז, אז יותר באוז, אז ווטר, ואז פריים ראשון של העצירה זה פיין. זה ריאליסטי אז? הלוקיישן ככה? אני 100% בשני המצבים, הליידי קירה ומאיה, אי אפשר לראות את הפסל, אבל אפשר לדעת שהבית קרובים למים. אבל אפשר לראות את שני הלנטרנס בפרוקסימיטי טוב. אז מעצבן זה שזה קורה בלילה. הווטר עצר לגמרי מהנקודה הזאת. זה אינסטנס נעלם ופיי נותר. רגע, למה זה קורה? אז למה יש את זה? רגע, hold on! זה בכלל קונטרדיקשן אחר, אבל... מה אני יכול לעשות עם האינסייט? Bowing to the lanterns. We're reading a satira. Once the first turret ended, he lowered the satira suddenly. Dagger. He rushed the accused and tried to fire off by the springside lantern. It was then the victim felt immense pain and he was stabbed. His lifeblood spilled over, his vision dimmed and falling past from our world. יש סקשן אחד שלם שמעלה רק בהכרח הטסטימוני הזה. זה ליטרלי 3 life force או מה שזה אמור להיות. ואז אחר כך מפה זה כבר רביעי. מפסק את טסטימוני של רייפה הזאת זה ה-4th באינסייט. Suddenly. Oh my god! Suddenly wind! אולי זה מרגיש כ-redundant objection אבל...
Objection!
Okay, because it's redundant. Redundant, okay. Should I fall? I'll fire her off by the springside lantern. איך זה יוצא הדבר הכי complicated בשבילי? זה משהו שאני מפספס? אולי כאן נגיד springside lantern, contradiction, sight?
Objection!
לא. רגע, בוא נראה מה המשחק אומר. זה לא נותן שום דבר? אוקיי, hold on. איך ככה זה אומר איפה יש contradiction. אז כן, היא בכלל לא זזה. הליידי קירה בכלל לא זז. למה זה ישתגש בנוגע ללנטרנס? למה ישתגש בנוגע ללנטרן מתי שיש ביקר קונטרדיקשן בנוגע לפסל? אבל אין לי כאן basic contradiction, עדיין יש לי פה inside contradiction, זה אומר שיש משהו שאני לא רואה פה. הוא לא היה stabbed. הווטר נשמע אותו הדבר. האינטנס גדל אבל הווטר לא השתנה.
Objection!
No.
Objection!
לא, אוקיי, זה היה מטומטם. למה לא יכול? למה לא יכול להיות דברים שקשורים לטאץ'? זה מעצבן להיתקע פה כי זה מרגיש כאילו זה החלק הפשוט ביותר.
Objection!
קטו. זה לא כזה קל לעשות ברוט פורס בניגוד למשהו כמו אבידנס כי זה שני חלקים. הקונטרדיקשן בנו משני חלקים. מה שאנחנו רואים ומה שאנחנו חושבים שקורה. אז מפה ה-permutations? What? What? למה זה לא עובד? What? What the fuck? What? עשיתי יותר מדי ריסטים? What is this? רגע, אני אעשה בירה התבאק, אני רגע אעשה רגע סגור ואפתח מחדש רגע את המשחק? What the fuck? אוקיי. אומייגאד. אני אשכרה תקוע. אני אשכרה חייב לעשות ריסטארט לכל הצ'פטר. What? לא אוטופליי. אני לא יכול אפילו להפעיל את הסיאנס! What is this? מה זה הבאג הזה? לא יכול לעשות סלקט, אני לא יכול לעשות פליי, אני לא יכול לעשות ריו... אני אפילו לא יכול להיכנס לאופשנס. מה זה הסופטוק הזה? מה מין איזה אוטופליי? כלום. אוטופליי זה הכפתור היחיד שעובד וזה לא עושה לי פה שום דבר. אומייגאד, אני חייב אשכרה לעשות ריסטארט לכל הצ'פטר. Oh my god. אשכרה חייב לעשות ריסטארט לכל הצ'פטר. אוקיי. 100% יש פה איזשהו סופטלוק מוזר שגורם לי להינעל, אז אני פשוט אקח את הפנלטי ואמשיך הלאה. אם זה בכלל שמר אותי אחרי הפנלטי. יש מצב שזה שמר אותי בתוך הסופטלוק. ומפה אני אשכרה אהיה חייב לעשות ריסטארט לכל הצ'פטר. רגע, 3:44? איפה עוד יכול להיות אינסייט קונטרדיקשן? אבל זה מדבר על לוקיישן, הקונטרדיקשן זה לוקיישן. לא, פוז, ככה. וסייב. אומייגאד! הוצאתי את המשחק מהסופטלוק! יש! ספרינגסייד לנטר. אוי, אפשר לו קצת את הקוטנס, אני מניח.
Objection!
איכשהו אני שכחתי את הכפתור של האינסייט. של הפוז לאינסייט. סליחה, אני התעטשתי. Fire off by this being said. למה הוא היה מופתע?
Objection!
ככה, אוקיי, לא, זה כלום. at this point אני פשוט אקח את הפנלטי רק בשביל להמשיך הלאה. כן, hold on. הבלס והאינסנס מופיעים באותו הזמן. אז אולי הריח של האינסנס הוא לא כזה חזק, אני מניח? מה הסיבה לתנועות ידיים האלה? זה מרגיש כמו stupid contradiction. As his vision dimmed. עדיין יש את האינסנס.
Objection!
כן, זה היה מטומטם. זה היה מטומטם. I knew it. אולי פה לעשות סייט?
Objection!
לא. איפה לעזאזל יהיה סייט קונטרדיקשן? אם זה לא סייט קונטרדיקשן, אז מה הפואנטה בלהגיד את מה הפואנטה בלהגיד את הלוקיישנס? שאני אראה גייד איך מתקדמים פה. כי זה מבלבל אותי לחלוטין. מהו הקונטרדיקשן כאן? רגע. No way! יש מצב שהפלומד פאנישר זה ליידי קירה? אוקיי, בוא נדבר. אני אפילו רגע גיא בשביל לראות איך מתקדמים פה? כי זה כבר נהיה ridiculous. זה כבר נהיה מטומטם. אוקיי, יפה. הצלחתי להשתיק. Oh my god! אני אשכרה עיוור? או what is this? אולי צריך לחדד? No way אני כזה עיוור. היי, זה בעצם איפה שהיה אמור להיות ה-broken lantern. אבל זה אומר כאן ה-springside lantern.
Objection!
לא. יש עוד משהו שאולי פספסתי? רגע, אולי אחר כך זה יותר ברור. או. יש ווינד. שנכנס לפה. זה לא הספרינגסייד לנטרן. זה לא יכול להיות הספרינגסייד לנטרן.
Objection!
Ok, אוקיי, רק בשביל קונטקסט, אני הרגע עכשיו אפתח את הסרטון שבו בעצם אני ראיתי את זה. 100% יש טעויות פה, אני לא... זה על ידי קריסטל לונג פלייז, אני הולך רק להראות את הסרטון. הבחינה הזאתי. רגע. איפה זה היה? הנה. אולי זה קצת אחר כך? אבל אפשר לראות שזה הברוקן לנטרן. כאן אני די בטוח שזה אחר כך, כי זה היה כמעט בלתי אפשרי בשבילי לראות. הלוג'יק שלי, אני מנחש לפי המשחק, זה בעצם מתי שיש רוח שנושבת בעצם. מתי שיש את המעבר של הרוח, שבו זה כן עובר בלנטרן. אומייגאד, זה היה כמעט בלתי אפשרי לראות. Your benevolence, I found a new contradiction. You did? No doubt it is but another of your vile attempts to slander my insights. Nope. Take a look at what the victim saw. It might just change your mind. The lantern flame behind the accused was flickering. There is nothing unusual about that, especially as the wind had stirred. No, that's where you're wrong. If the accused had been standing in the spring, oh my god, אז זה כן היה אמור להיות כמעט בלתי אפשרי לראות. What the fuck? Then what you see here should be one of the lanterns flanking the statue. I fail to see your point. My point is, something is wrong here. The two lanterns flanking the statue were both outfitted with glass wind guards. So neither lantern's flame should have been flickering in the wind in the first place. She seems pretty tickled, Nick. I don't remember saying anything funny. I fail to see what you wish to prove here, but... very well. I shall refine the vision and reveal the truth for all to see. Oh, blessed Mitama, I beseech you, fix your sight upon the lantern there. Oh my god, זה אשכרה היה אמור להיות בלתי אפשרי לראות. Huh? That lantern doesn't have a wind guard on it. And rightly so. For the wind guard was removed to reveal the sacred flame within for the rite of fire. Therefore, there's nothing odd about the flame flickering. What? Say what? But when we searched the crime scene, those lanterns had their wind guards on. That's because the police put them back on. The sacred flames have burned uninterrupted for hundreds of years, defense. We could not risk them being extinguished, even during an investigation. I would never fly back home. Well, Barbed Head, are you done quibbling? If so, then it is time to bow down before this testimony of the Mitama. Nick! Don't worry, Maya, I'm just getting started. Alright, let's go with everything you know so far. Maya was wearing Lady Kira's robes and standing in the spring. The High Priest is thought to have been moving towards her. So I should look for sensations that stand in contradiction to this arrangement. Won't give up. Going to find a contradiction that will undermine the accusation against Maya. Any revisions like insight update? Ow! Basic contradiction! אם זה היה ה-rights of fire!
Objection!
אוקיי, לא. הלנטרן עכשיו עצמו הוא contradiction! הלנטרן עצמו עכשיו הוא contradiction!
Objection!
What? זה אשכרה full on contradiction! Transformation. להוריד את הסאטורה. להוריד את הסאטורה, ואיכשהו הלנטרן חזר לעבוד!
Objection!
זה אשכרה real contradiction! רגע. אז עכשיו אי אפשר להגיד שזה ספרינג-טייד לנטרן. Hold on. האם אני יכול להגיד את זה? האם אני יכול להגיד שזה לא יכול להיות, שמאיה לא יכולה להיות בספרינג-טייד לנטרן? כי היא נמצאת בברוקן לנטרן.
Objection!
Oh my god! Finally! What could this possibly mean? That lantern clearly contradicts the insight. This contradiction will overturn the entire case I've been building. Are you alright, Mr. Wright? One minute you shout out, and the next you fall silent. Perhaps it is like the bellow of one who is barreling down a hill with no way of stopping. Is that not right, Prosecutor Samani? Nayuta כנראה מבין מה קורה פה. Don't get cold feet now, Phoenix. Even if this overturns the entire case you've built so far. The only way to keep moving forward is to keep moving forward. Because that's what we find. Oh my god! כל הלנטרן מוכיח את ה-contradiction. כל הלנטרן מוכיח את ה-contradiction. כי מאיה נמצאת ליד ה-broken lantern. לא היה
שום צליל של footsteps או water או כל מיני דברים כאלה מסתובבים, רואים את ליידי קירה. רואים את ליידי קירה אחר כך. Oh my god!
Other ways to keep moving forward. Because that's where we'll find the truth.
Sorry, but I'm not barreling down a hill. In fact, I'm in full control of everything with indisputable contradiction I found.
Is that so?
The lantern behind the accused clearly, no, blatantly contradicts your insight.
Does it now?
One of the lanterns on the entrance side of the inner sanctum was broken. And if you watch what Albert Emmy saw in his final moments, you will notice that the lantern behind the praying form of Miss Faye is broken. Is that broken lantern? The lantern behind Lady Kira, however, is still intact. In short, we're seeing two different lanterns in this seance vision. How could this be?
And even if it weren't so,
How would that contradict my insight? Again, footsteps! And footsteps! Let me start this by saying, the claim I'm about to raise will overturn the case I've built thus far.
Will the defense please explain himself?
Based on the broken lantern, we can tell a broken lantern that might have an abac position where the accused and the victim were standing.
But did you just finish asserting that the accused was standing somewhere else?
I did, and I built my argument on that faulty premise. But thankfully, it has led us here, to the actual spot where Maya Fey was standing.
I must say, if the defense keeps changing its assertions in such a comparious manner, its credibility may come into question.
I'm willing to take that risk, Your Majesty, because I believe this will be the last time. I'd like to start by pointing out the actual spot where the accused was standing.
Very well. Show us where you now believe the accused was actually standing.
Based on location of the broken lantern, where was Maya really standing?
Oh, my original position.
Take that!
I wasn't thinking straight before, but now it's all falling into place. We know the victim had stepped into the spring. This means Maya Fey had to have been standing in the water as he approached. However, his memory, which has only now become clear, reveals that Miss Fey was standing by the side of the broken lantern. In other words, she was standing where she was supposed to be according to custom. Does that not bring us back to the very beginning? No. This is where things take a different turn. And I mean that literally. Hiya, third party. The victim had to have been moving toward that spring. Toward the spring. That means that while he was moving, he had his back turned towards the accused.
What's this? You mean to say the victim turned around during the riot? But such an image appears nowhere in the seance vision.
A different lantern. Actually, it does appear. It's just that no one noticed until now.
No one noticed? How could no one have noticed something so big?
We got lantern positions.
There was a moment when the scripture the victim was holding was all we could see. Thanks to that, none of us could tell that he was, in fact, turning around in that moment.
Objection!
If it is as the defense asserts, then her benevolence's insight no longer makes sense. How do you intend to explain that?
Objection!
Easy! I don't need to explain everything, because it's just as you said, Prosecutor Samali. Her benevolence's insights don't make any sense because they contain a huge error. Such insolence!
A huge error, you say? Do explain.
The huge error is the number of people. Yeshalosh. I believe this is what happened at the scene of the crime. The victim was wearing a satra when suddenly he sensed someone behind him. He immediately looked back to see someone dressed as Lady Kira standing there. Wishing to see who it was, he approached the robed figure. That's when he was stabbed. This cannot be! Oh, but it can! And it is! The insight stating the accused stabbed the victim is wrong. And that is the real truth flying behind this testimony of the dead. Oh my god, finally!
Are you suggesting that there was someone else at the scene of the crime?
Have I misunderstood? The voice of the Mitama yet again? This cannot be! Whew. That was a close one. But I managed to divine the true meaning behind the seance vision somehow. I should add these new facts to the core record. Perfect. Your benevolence, please allow me to take it from here. I will overturn the brash accusations of this faithless, future-minded lawyer. Yes, I shall place my trust in you. Oh my god, okay. And to be continued? Oh boy.
Are you sure about this, Prosecutor Sabati?
My work as an international prosecutor has taken me to courtrooms around the world. And in that time, I've learned to perform the last rites for souls in trials lacking a seance.
Yes, of course. Forgive my ludicrous inquiry.
Moreover, I have with me a forensic investigator from overseas. What? I will show you all the most magnificent last rites ever seen. I guess he really does think highly of Emma and her forensic expertise. רגע! Emma אשכרה חלק מזה? Okay. I'm impressed that he's come to understand their value. And again, he is an international prosecutor who solved tough cases around the world. Had to hunker down, huh?
Now then, let us continue with today's proceedings.
Could the defense please tell us who the third party dressed as Lady Kira was? Your new claim has negated the insights of the royal priestess. So I trust you have some evidence to support it, correct? Yes, of course. This fell party must have really wanted to kill the High Priest. I'd be able to identify who it was if I had evidence of their murderous intent. אחד, שתיים, שלוש! That's horrible. Same message that she perform our trooper of the front line want to crimes against the armed and dangerous country authorities. Any information. Well, we're waiting, Mr. Wright. The evidence that can reveal the identity of the third party is this.
Take that!
3 days before the Purification Riot, the victim received a warning letter from an unidentified individual.
It did?
Whoever said it clearly meant to threaten the High Priest. The letter said, do not perform the riot. But the riot went on as scheduled. I believe that is why the High Priest was murdered.
Who do you suppose sent that letter?
A person with something to hide. A rebel hunter disguised as Lady Kira herself.
Priest? I don't understand. I heard the Lady Kira that has been in the news of late only hunted rebels. So, why would she have killed the High Priest?
Excellent question. Maybe it would help to think of it this way. What if the High Priest had secretly been a rebel? High Priest? He couldn't possibly have been a rebel.
High Priest? A devout follower of Corainism? A rebel? Do you even comprehend the blasphemy of which you speak? Well, do you?
I, too, found it hard to believe at first. But as I continued my investigation, it started to become more and more plausible.
Objection!
The third party was the rebel hunting Lady Kira. And the High Priest was a rebel. Your mockery of Corainism? No. Of the kingdom of Koram itself knows no bounds. Whoops! Should be more comfortable. Speaking of mockery of our religion.
As a faithful Korainist, I take issue with these claims. And I am loath to admit them into today's proceedings.
I don't like where this is going. The defense's claims are but vile blasphemy, tantamount to spitting on the Holy Mother. Is it really that big of a deal, Maya? Abbot Inmi was a distinguished monk, and very well respected too. So, yeah. Let's not let this turn into an international incident. But fear not, good people of Quran. The rantings of this putrid-brained lawyer who seeks to sully the soul of the deceased shall come to no avail once I conclude these last rites. The prosecution's assertions The prosecution's assertion that the accused killed the victim remains unchanged.
But the victim was stabbed in his abdomen. How is that possible when he had his back turned towards Miss Maya? His face, huh? Someone else must have killed him.
Objection!
Are you sure about that?
And footsteps!
You may have invalidated the seance, but do not let it go to your putrid head. The karmic flow of this trial is, as yet, still in my hands.
How can he be so confident?
Something has occurred to me, you see. And your allegations of a third party are but deluded fantasy. And I shall prove that by calling a new witness to the stand.
Oh, finally, witnesses!
An eyewitness will deliver a definitive answer that will dispel the defense's doubts.
An eyewitness.
Very well, let us call this eyewitness to the stand.
Oh! Oh, okay. It's him again.
Well now, he has to be the shaggiest witness I've ever laid my eyes upon. Please state your name and occupation.
Oh. What?
Oh, I'm, that so-and-so, whatchamacallit. Anonymous TBD. At least that's what they've been calling me.
Anonymous? Okay.
TBD. Was it to be determined? Can you just tell us your real name?
The witness has suffered a blow to the head, rendered him amnesiac. Therefore, I named him Unknown in Anonymous DBD in my report, but he thinks the TBD is part of his name.
Objection!
You're laying an amnesiac testify? Oh my god, here we go again! The literally Yanni Yogi!
Have no fear, I have already questioned him at length. While it is true that he has utterly forgotten his name and past, his memory of what he witnessed is still very much intact.
Consider the dearth of information. Any new knowledge may be of help. Therefore, I will permit his testimony. Now, Mr. Amos, please tell us what you saw.
אין שום סיכוי שזה אשכרה השם של... כן, אוקיי.
That night, I was up on the rooftop of Mount Papa, Pawnee Pony, about next to the inner sanctum. Hate crowds, I climbed up there to pray in peace. I know it's a no-no, but since there was no one around, I used my binoculars to spot the rights at the inner sanctum.
What?
That's what the accused. Stabbed the high priest with a dagger.
There's no way you saw Miss Faye stab the victim with a dagger.
I swear I don't know what he's talking about. Or don't remember at any rate.
Oh, Pony Pony. The beautiful mountain that is also known as the Little Sanctum.
They must have been talking about that smaller mountain from the poster.
Mr. Amos, I was wondering, what can I do you for? The inner sanctum lies at a higher elevation where clouds and fog can obscure the view. Are you sure you were able to see what happened from the mountain next to it?
Good point. His Majesty raises an excellent question. Well, Mr. Amos?
There on the right, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. I had a perfect view. Don't believe me? Check the weather forecast in the paper that day.
Nick, don't we have the newspaper for that day? Lady Kira returns to battle rebels. The Lady Kira-like figure that appeared 2 years ago remains a mystery. Some of them don't see her as Lady Kira in the flesh. Such rumors feel enthusiastic for verification, right? The thick white ice that froze the ground from the inner sector of the blast of the bush until yesterday has melted. Where I can now go as planned. We don't give Holy Mother Lady Kira happy Baraki. I'm just going to give subject to look. Look of the male and children for escape the Royal Elementary number 4 yesterday. Yeah, let's take a look. It does say calm, clear skies, doesn't it?
See? Told you so.
Okay.
Well, it would appear that the witness has offered testimony worth hearing.
Mr. Amos, I too have a question for you. Didn't he already question the witness?
That's what I'm here for, right? Shoot.
How was the accused holding the dagger? Was she holding it underhanded? Its blade protruding from the bottom of her hand.
Yep, I believe she was. It's called a reverse grip.
Ah, I thought as much.
Hold it!
Hold it right there! What bearing does that have on this case? Since the interruptions, the reputed headed lawyer? Do you not see the significance in how the blade was held? Why don't you enlighten me, oh enlightened one? I knew you were a fool, but I can already picture you in your next life. Next life? Yes. After your soul breathers for centuries in the pits of hell, you shall be reborn as a witless sea urchin, with barbs limited to your posterior. You shall live a short, inconsequential life, only to be brutally devoured by a sea otter. That was a bit excessive. Simply ask what the dagger grip has to do with the case. Now pay attention. How the accused held the dagger is of vital importance. With such information, we can infer exactly what actions she took. And footsteps! You were saying that the victim was killed while he had his back to the accused. Is that correct? Yes. As such, the accused's dagger grip tells us something very important. The accused approached the victim from behind, swung her arms around him, and plunged the dagger deep into his abdomen using a reverse grip.
What?
Thus, Mr. Ms's testimony clears up any doubts that might remain.
And it concealed her belovedness's insights as well.
אם ככה, אז מה הפואנטה בליידי קירה?
This is a disaster. I have blown those insights out of the water, but now they're back to haunt me.
למה היא הייתה מרגישה את הדאגר במתי שהיא מחזיקה את הדאגר? What? זה אומר שיש שתי דאגרס! לפי הלוג'יק הזה זה אומר שיש שתי דאגרס!
Now then, the defense may cross-examine the witness.
Okay. That's okay. Please, no to no, but since no, oh. Unless my binoculars to spy at the inner sanctum. Let's when inside the accused, stab the high priest with a dagger.
לפחות עכשיו אפשר להתחיל אשכרה טסטימוניז. אפשר אשכרה להשתמש ב-real evidence now.
Hold it!
Since nobody was around, there's nobody who can corroborate your actions either.
Oh!
You're exactly right. In that case, Mr. Miss, let me ask you this. Was there a reason you didn't want to be seen?
About that. If I get caught climbing the surrounding mountains on the day of the ride, I can get in big trouble.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, it's totally embarrassing to getting yelled at when you're a grown-up.
Yeah, you're a real grown-up, alright.
And since nobody was around, I lost all of my inhibition and...
As my binoculars to spawn it.
Hold it!
You had a pair of binoculars with you? That's pretty convenient. You weren't planning to spy on the ride all along, were you?
Actually, I just happened to have them on for bird watching.
Bird watching! Bird watching, huh? I see. You're not going to keep pressing him on this? He's sketchy as heck, but I don't really have anything I can really sink my teeth into yet. Oh, okay then.
I love the great outdoors. That's just the kind of guy I am.
Guy called
Anonymous TBD.
He's really starting to get on my nerves.
As I looked for my binoculars, I couldn't believe what was unfolding before me. I saw the accused stab the high priest with a dagger.
100% אני הייתי מדבר... טמבל. איך מפה? אפשר לראות מפה! מתי שלא משנה מה! יש קורטנס. זה באמת מוזר למה יש את הבינוקולרס, אבל יש את הקורטן.
Objection!
What? זה לא סלאם דונק?
Hold it!
Did you really see what you say you did?
Are you saying I'm lying about this? I'm not.
It's etched permanently in this old noggin. But I didn't do what you say I did. I didn't even get a chance to touch the dagger on the day of the riot.
What do I know? What do I know about that? All I know is what I saw. I've never seen you before in my life. What possible reason could I have to lie?
Expect there to be any witnesses way up there. But I don't remember doing that at all. I know. I have a feeling the witness is lying. There has to be an inconsistency somewhere in his testimony. I should take another look at the court record. אולי לא לדבר על מה שראית, אלא לדבר שהשתמשת בבינוקולרס?
Objection!
Okay. Your Majesty, I have my doubts about this bushy-bearded witness, but now I know we can't trust him.
What? You ain't just judging me solely on my ridiculous beard, are you?
Not at all, Mr. Amos. It's much more than your sketchy appearance. It's your sketchy testimony.
His testimony, you say?
Yes. Recall how the inner sanctum was that day. Specifically, that it was completely enclosed by the ritual curtain.
Yes, I believe you're right.
The curtain would have completely blocked the witness's view from Mount Pony Pony. Therefore, he couldn't possibly have seen the murder happen.
Mr. Amos, have you been knowingly making false statements to this court?
Well,
Hey, you got me! The witness will lower his voice. I didn't actually see the accused herself.
he didn't actually see the accused herself. What's that supposed to mean?
Let me set the record straight, I beg ya. I saw their shadowy silhouette projected against the ritual curtain. The figures were created by the light of the full moon that was clear and still night. She was just a shadow. I could tell it was the accused, reverse gripping that dagger.
Shadows? That's what you saw?
That's right. I could see what was going on by the shadows projected onto the ritual curtain. In the future, Mr. Amos, I would rather you offer up accurate testimony from the start. Forgive me, my man, Mr. Magistrate. Chalk it up to my fuzzy memory.
Though he saw but shadows, it is still valuable testimony.
You have to be kidding me.
What are we going to do now, Nick? All I can think of is to look for inconsistencies between the actual riot and what Mr. Amos says he saw.
Now then, The defense may cross-examine the witness once more.
Show us how.
Zach, show us testimonies!
A career before. Still clear. It was just a shadow, but I could tell the accused reverse gripping that dagger. The light of the full moon on that clear and still night. I have full moon? I'm already at full moon.
Hold it!
So what you saw were simply shadows?
That's right. Those shadow figures on that bright white curtain. They showed me through plain as day. I could see everything that happened.
But Miss Faye and Abba Amy were at the top of the mountain, late at night. The only light up there that was coming from... The only light up there was coming from 4 small lanterns. How could the shadows have been projected that clearly onto the curtain?
No wonder people harp on you lawyers. You're always so dang skeptical. Lanterns weren't the only sources of light, you know what?
As I'm the middle of full moon,
Hold it!
I claim to have seen shadowy figures that were projected onto the ritual curtain. But did you really see them, Mr. Amos?
Of course I did. A bright moonlight projected them onto that curtain. Clear as day. It was like watching a scene out of a horror movie from my front row seat on Pony.
My god. I guess the moon does shine a bit brighter when you're way up there. Maya, do you recall how bright the moon was that night? I remember there weren't any clouds, and that the moon was definitely out. I don't remember if it could cast any shadows. Okay, thanks. Can't deny that the moon was really bright. Which means it's possible that it was bright enough to cause shadows to appear.
I remember it just like it happened.
How? לא רק שזה אנימיישן ממש דומה לבובי פולברייט, a.k.a. הפנטום? אלא זה פשוט הצחוק של מרק רוב, what the fuck?
Hold it!
Hang on. How do you know it was Miss Faye if all you saw were shadows?
It was that little bun on top of her hair. You need to see her face. That distinctive bobs, that big giveaway. Never understood my keen sense of observation. That's one funny haircut.
It's not nice to make fun of girls' hairstyle. I like my hair this way. Besides, you're one to talk, you Sasquatch.
You're not into this wild, manly look I'm sporting. Shows what you little know, little girl.
Tagina na siya sa mulot, Makob. Nick, is there some kind of a crime you can charge him with? Whoa! I'm afraid it doesn't work that way. Now he claims he only saw shadows? His testimony has sketchy written all over it. And there must be an inconsistency in there somewhere. Yep. Was he really watching everything from Mount Pony Pony? If so, then I should see how his testimony lines up with the conditions of the riot. Mount Pony Pony. דבר ראשי שיכול להגיד בעצם כ-contradiction זה שהוא שם לב לדאגר, ל-reverse grip dagger. רק בנושא של shadows. למה יש לי את זה כאבידנס? I should see how his testimony lines up with the conditions of the riot.
Objection!
No. Conditions of the riot. יכול להיות על זה קשור? אני לא זוכר אבל איפה זה היה. prayer flags.
Objection!
לא. משהו אבל שמדבר על הדאגר, ה-reverse dagger.
Objection!
Nope. Oh my god, איך אני לא ראיתי את זה. The around day in the sector will enjoy calm clear skies. The warmer temperature will make it excellent plane. Be warned, however, that we will see a cold front move in overnight. זה אומר שיהיה קר.
Objection!
Huh? Oh. כמה fail audios יש?
Objection!
No. How did I miss Faye in the show? Little topper on her head. The end series space, but Daba is the takeaway.
Objection!
כן, זה מרגיש מוזר להגיד עכשיו, כי אם מדברים על reverse grip, אז יש את הפלומד פאנישר בסופר טכניקל סנס. Oh!
Objection!
לא. My God. מה עוד יכול להיות פה?
Hold it!
I could see everything that happened. False.
Hold it! Objection!
You guys want a brute force answering?
Objection!
Oh!
Looks like you can't count on your bluffing skills to save your butt this time.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Well, to me, there's something about this one statement that seems off. Yeah, it does sound a little strange, doesn't it? Thanks, Maya. Take another look at the evidence. Always calm me. What? The mushroom full moon statement? אם אני מבין את הקונסולט נכון, זה משהו ב-full moon statement?
Objection! 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 Objection!
זה משהו בסטייטמנט הזה, אבל what?
Objection! Objection!
הרי אם קונסולט עושה לי טלפורט ישר לסטייטמנט מתי שאני עושה יותר ויותר פיילים.
Objection!
כי שאני חוזר על אותו הדבר.
Objection!
אוקיי. זה היה טכנית, הייתי קורא לזה יותר ברוט פורס, והייתי חייב להשתמש בקונסולט, שזה מעניין. אבל זה הדבר היחיד שהייתי יכול לחשוב עליו. שבו... פוני! זה איפה שנמצא הפול מון.
Objection!
זה באמת הלוג'יק היחיד שהייתי יכול לחשוב עליו, אבל... או לפי ההיגיון של המשחק שזה ה-contradiction. Whatever. You saw silhouettes projected by the moonlight? Sorry, but that's just not possible.
What do you mean?
How's that possible? It was totally possible. That's impossible. I think I'm going to need a logicalese translation to that. On that. Let's take a look at this rights guide, shall we, Mr. Miss? The rite is held when the moon is directly over the summit of Mount Pony. Okay. So, if the moon was shining from the west, any shadows would have been cast eastward. But Mr. MS was standing to the west of the inner sanctum on Mount Pony.
Oh, holy mother!
That's right. Our witness here couldn't have seen any shadowy figures on that curtain.
No way! Perhaps it was the single frames of the lantern that cast the shadows.
I'm afraid not. I inspected them during my investigation, but the flames were too small to cast the crisp, distinct figures Mr. MS claims to have seen.
I did not see those silhouettes, really.
How could he, Nick? Maybe he was someplace where they were visible. Wait, don't tell me. Your Majesty! If Mr. Meswell did see those shadows, it brings a brand new fact to light.
That would be...
The brand new fact that comes to light if Mr. Meswell did see those shadows is... he was somewhere else. He wasn't where he claimed to be at the time of the murder.
Oh, then where do you propose that this was?
Someplace where he could have seen the shadow figures, naturally. Wait, you mean... none of the mountains east of the inner sanctum are close enough for a good view. That leaves only one place where he could clearly see the shadows from.
And where might that be?
This is where Imis was at the time. The inner sanctum. Mr. Imis was at the inner sanctum, just outside the curtain on the east side. That's the only place from which he could have seen the shadowy figures.
Huh?
Really? Wow, I didn't even think of that.
Wasn't the inner sanctum off limits to all but the victim and the accused?
And the fur party, what was there, you mean? I get the feeling that's the subject Prosecutor Samadi would rather not touch right now.
Oh, you mean...
That's right. This witness was at the scene of the crime. Which means he is the mysterious fur body he saw during the divination seance. He could have been the one who just asked Lady Kira and killed the High Priest.
What?
Let's go!
No
one but the two participants were allowed anywhere near the inner sanctum. And the only way up there were on stairs that start down at the Plaza of Devotion. So tell me, how do you propose the witness enter that sacred space? Oh, he must have... I haven't thought that far ahead. The sanctum has sheer cliffs on 3 sides, and a steep, towering rock face on the other. No one could have made it there by climbing the faces of those cliffs. His Majesty speaks true. To say Mr. Ms was at such an inaccessible location is but a bit to tarnish his credibility. Is that not right?
Why? I wasn't at the inner sanctum. No sir, no how. I'm at least I'm pretty sure I wasn't.
Hold it!
Then, what about the silhouettes you claim to have seen?
I'm starting to think I've been imagining things.
What? This is insane! I never could trust that lawyer. He's trying to frame the witness.
Peace, I said peace.
This is impossible. Like I said, I can show how he got to the inner sanctum. This looks like I'm trying to slander Mr. Ms. I believe in you, Nick. Rah, rah, sis, boomba. Fight, Phoenix, right. Let's look at their cues. I should know shame. What's your problem, lady? Phoenix Wright is very trustworthy, I'll have you know.
Got some nerve for a criminal.
I bet that lawyer poisoned her mom. What the fuck? Please, Maya, you're making it worse. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but it's probably best to keep it to yourself for now.
I would advise the defense to think carefully before making any more sudden outbursts.
כי זה יותר complicated מאשר הסיסטם הקודם. Yes, your majesty. If I wasn't the bad guy before, I definitely am now. Now, Mr. Ms, I'd like you to think back carefully before you testify next about where you were that night.
I was never at the inner sanctum, I tell you.
Not much I'm sure of, even with a fuzzy memory. Besides, would have been impossible to get there in the first place.
Boy, lawyers sure are scary.
Yes, it might have been impossible for him to get to the sanctum like he claims, but... Now will you desist in trying to frame this innocent witness?
Yeah, I would like to see her explain how he got up there. Mr. Wright, is it not time to end these cross-examinations?
A moment of desperation leads to 100 million years of torment. Ooh! That was it of. It means that for each moment a sinner spent struggling to deny their sins, 100 million years of torment are added to their time in hell. Rhinism is the strictest religion ever! And just so you know, you've already accrued 200 million extra years.
What's the 5 they started with? That's 700 years.
Sure, what's another 200 million years, give or take?
Well, it is a big deal for me.
I can't keep saying that the witness was there in the sanctum if I can't prove it. Problem is, how am I going to do that? פרס! אם הכל זה היה פזט, עכשיו חייב פרס. הוא חייב לתת אינפורמיישן.
Hold it!
Are you sure you weren't there?
All I'm sure is that you're deeply skeptical. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor.
Are all lawyers always like this? Most certainly. They always try to paint crimes on innocent witnesses without any proof whatsoever. They are no better than bacteria or viruses.
Yikes. Means contagious? He's gonna give me lawyer it is.
Wow. Okay, this is getting ridiculous.
Ooh, that was a close one.
What the fuck?
Almost put me down to scene of the crime when I wasn't even there.
I have a fuzzy memory. So it would have been impossible in the first place.
Hold it!
I wonder if it really was impossible for you to get into the insectum. If you have something to say, just say it. Couldn't there have been another way to get there? A way that wouldn't attract attention?
No, there isn't.
Which means there is.
Perhaps that our friends would like to share its theory with us.
I don't even have a wild guess, let alone a theory though. Time to reach into my bag of bluffs. To reach the inner sanctum without attracting any attention. He climbed up the cliff. Applause as obvious, fell from the sky is insane. Climbed up the cliff. No one would have noticed if he had scaled up the side of the mountain. He could have stuck into the inner sanctum that way.
The cliff is so loose and crumbly around there. Even a promoter climber wouldn't have made it up that way.
Everyone here in Kormai knows that. But let's forgive the defense's ignorance. He is a foreigner after all.
Why doesn't anyone ever tell me about these things? Tough luck, lawyer. I couldn't have gotten up the inner sanctum by scaling the cliff.
Please add that to your testimony, Mr. Oh!
If I could climb those cliffs, the rocks are loose and crumbly.
Hold it!
You really couldn't climb your way up. Like, what if there was a route where the rock is more solid? Or maybe you're a celebrated rock climber, you know? Something like that?
As I said before, the rocks are loose and crumbly. There's no route up there where the rock's more solid. Moreover, I've never rock climbed a day in my life.
Any attempt to climb that mountain would be as good as throwing your life away.
Oh, come on, Your Majesty.
You continue to claim that the witness was under the sanctum.
Yet said claim shall remain as but a claim without any supporting evidence, Mr. Wright.
Yes, I realize that, Your Majesty. If I can find any inconsistencies, guess I can always try to elect some more testimony.
Hold it!
He fell from the sky! Maybe you fell from the sky?
Oh, fix this comedian now.
I was wondering what crazy theory you would propose next. Warp defense? Let's hear it.
Mr. Amos could have, parachuted down. We already know that the weather was clear and there was no wind to speak of. Perfect weather for skydiving, I would say.
Now that you have been backed into a corner, your delusions grew ever more delusional.
Whoa! Okay!
Your inner sanctum is on a tiny ledge upon a sheer cliff over 2,000 meters tall. One misstep, and a skydiver would soon find himself in the Twilight Realm.
Yeah, I don't care how still the wind was. Even I could have made that jump. Wait, what's this building on top of the sacred mountain?
That is Royal Penitentiary Area number 4.
Ha! Ha! Ephesus skewers it. Ha!
Alright. But just Rafa mentioned there was a prison up there. How do you get your prisoners up there anyway? By helicopter, but only with authorization from the Minister of Justice. He is the one who can approve flights that pass over the inner sanctum.
Oh my god! Okay.
Might I also add, Defense, that no parachute or any other equipment necessary for skydiving have been found.
Are you saying I flew there by flapping my arms? Maybe an incredible dude, but even I'm not capable of that. Well, please add that statement to your testimony, Mr. Miss. It's not like I can fly through the air either.
Objection!
What? I escaped prisoner.
Objection!
Okay, yes, Sibala update. Hold on. But I never got the update. זה מראה את הגובה הזה, ואז אחר כך כאן זה מראה את הגובה של פלנטרי 4.
Hold it!
You wouldn't need to flap your arms if you had some gear.
As I've already stated, nothing of the sort was found in or around the scene of the crime.
I'm sure I'd like to see some of that so-called gear you're talking about.
Oh, I know, but was there really nothing like that at the inner sanctum? What if there was something that could have been used to...
Oh my god! Habano! Come on, parachute! Mr. Amos is right. He couldn't have skydived down there without any gear. Well, now, finally come around, have you? You see, I couldn't have possibly been there at the inner sanctum. Right. If you didn't have any gear, that is. What on earth are you talking about? That overreaction is a giveaway that I'm on the right track. Take a look at this piece of evidence. Those are prayer flags, are they not? Yes, but they have been sewn together.
to create one big banner. A banner that could also function like a parachute. The people of Quran are so used to seeing prayer flags that the police didn't even think twice about these flags during their investigation.
No, this can't be.
The witness landed at the inner sanctum by using these prayer flags as a parachute. Is that not right, Mr. Immis?
There's no way out. I'm surrounded.
Mr. Immis?
All this talk jogged my memory. I guess I was down in the sanctum after all.
Checkmate! As I suspected, there were 3 people up there that night. You did it, Nick. You weren't wrong after all. Thanks? Mr. Immis, you were the one disguised as Lady Kira that night, weren't you?
What? No way, no how. It's like this. Oh yeah. I was only there in sanctum by accident.
What? By accident?
Exactly. And that thing's not a parachute. It's a homemade
Paraglider? What in the power world is this? A paraglider? Are you telling me you could fly using that patchwork mess of material?
May not look like much, but it's as sturdy as it can be. I rode away like an eagle, going higher and higher from my earthly launching point. But then something happened that forced me to land at the inner sanctum.
So you just happened to land there? You expect me to believe that?
Now, please calm yourself, Mr. Wright. However, the fact that the witness was at the inner sanctum is crucial testimony indeed. And it certainly warrants further explanations.
Explication. מה זה המילה הזאתי?
Therefore, let's continue with more testimony.
Okay.
That evening, I was enjoying a trek through the night sky with my homemade paraglider. But just as my pony was drawing near, something terrible happened. By accident forced me to make an emergency landing at the inner sanctum. As I landed, I banged my head, causing me to lose my mirror.
Oh!
You see, I ended up at the inner sanctum purely by accident.
What? Okay. Mr. Immis, you failed to mention any of this during your pre-trial questioning.
Can't be helped. I mean, I'm just remembering it now.
Continue such slip-hard testimony and you will be cast into the hell of hangnails. Or you shall have hangnails grown and ripped out for 800 million years.
Oh my god! I think I'll pass on that.
Looks like I've caught Prosecutor Samani off guard. This is my chance to rip his case to shreds. Okay. נראה לי אני אעשה את זה קצת אנומלי בשבילי, אבל אני אסיים את הפרק של היום פה. וואו, ספיריט אוף ג'סטיס, איך אני התגעגעתי לשחק במשחק הזה. אבל פרפקט. זה היה הסיום של הפרק של היום. אז כן. בגלל שזה הסיום של הפרק של היום, נעשה ככה. הו, בוי. זה היה כיף! כאן היה ירין, ניפגש בסרטון עולב הבא, שירין יקום גיימס, מקווה שנהנתם! וירין, אאוט! ביי חברים, מקווה שאתם נהנים! ומצטער, לקח לי קצת זמן להיזכר איך אני עשיתי את האוטרו. ביי ביי!